Hey Dad, can I go on my iPad?
Yes, but only for 20 minutes.
Okay.
Whoops. Are you worried about how much time your child spends on their iPad? Would you like an easy way to manage their screen time? I'm the ICT guy, and today I'm going to show you how you can quickly and easily set up screen time limits. How much screen time is too much? Well, I'm not here to tell you that, but I can show you how you can easily limit that each day. Everything we're going to change today you can find within the settings app. So if you go ahead and select the grey cog, that has all of the settings in for the iPad. And on the left, we're going to scroll down until we get to screen time. And here are all of the options about setting limits for screen time and app usage. Before we start though, I really recommend you go down and do this where it says lock screen time settings. You click on that and it will ask you to choose a password in order to lock these settings. So I'm going to pick one and put it in. Ask you to confirm it and make sure it's different than the lock code that you have on the iPad so your child isn't able to undo any of the changes that you make. It's asking me to put in the details of my iTunes account for recovery. This is really important because if you forget that code, you are going to be a bit stuck without it. So put in your iTunes email address or phone number and then the password. I'm going to put mine in quickly. And there we are done. And you will notice that in a while after we set the app limits, that's very useful that we've done that. I'll talk about that in a moment. So here we have our app and website activity. And if you want to limit usage, you click on it. It will ask you to put in that code that we just created. So put that in and then turn on app and website activity. So we've got a few different options we can use. We've got downtime, which is the times of day that the iPad can be used. And we've got app limits. So we've got individual limits for apps, as in how much time in a day they can spend on that app. And we've got an always allowed list. So there may be some apps that you want them to always be able to access regardless of any downtime or screen limits. So let's have a look at downtime first. You can either turn it on until tomorrow, so you can manually do it, or you can set up a schedule. And I recommend setting up a schedule. And then every day we're going to have it between 10 o'clock and 7 o'clock by default. I might make that a little bit earlier. I might make that 9 o'clock. And I don't want it being used in the night without me knowing about it. And there's an option here called block at downtime, so that if they try to use the iPad during their downtime, they can't just skip any of the warnings and recommendations. It is blocked until they enter in that passcode that we created just a moment ago. So make sure that is always enabled as well. All this automatically saves. We've got it set every day, and now we'll go back. So the iPad can only be used during the daytime. It won't be able to be used at night. The next option then is the app limits, and we can add a limit here. So we can either do it for all apps in all categories, or we can select different categories here. So say, for example, in education, you can see I've got a few different apps here. We might say, actually, I want to just have app limits on those ones. You could do it that way. An easier way to do it, though, is to just do it for all apps and categories. Press next, and you can choose how long you want them to be using apps in the daytime. So we could do it for 2 hours or 1 hour. That will be up to you at your discretion. And again, block at end of limit, that is on. So that means once that time is up, they won't be able to skip any reminders. It will just be blocked until they enter that passcode. You can customize the days. You might say, actually, on a Saturday, we could have a little bit longer on the iPad if we wanted to. And maybe even on the Sunday as well, because it's a weekend, you might want to give it longer. That is up to you. Those are your decisions about that. So once we've got them all set, we just says tick. And there we have it. We have our app limits set there. If we go back, I spoke about this before, they're always allowed. So there might be a few apps you think, actually, I don't mind them using that one whenever they want. So for example, there's a really good maths one called Hit the Button Maths, which I think is great. Got loads of good features in it. And I've put that as always allowed. So if they want to use that ever, they can. And there may be a few other apps you might want to do. For example, they might want the camera to always be on. Calculator, maybe even a few other apps. You can choose those ones. That would be at your discretion of which ones you think you don't want any limits set for. There it is, all set up. If you ever want to change the screen time password, you can do it there. And if you ever want to turn off the app and website activity, down at the bottom, here is the option. You click on that. You have to enter in that screen time password again. And then you can turn it all off and you'll be back to how you were before, and all the limits that we've just set up will be removed. I've now added the downtime limit and turned that on. You can see that some of the apps are grayed out. This was the one that I've said to allow at all times, so that can be clicked on and played. On the other ones, you can ask for more time, either enter the screen passcode or ask for 1 more minute, and it will let you do 1 more minute of timing on it, and then it'll ask for a passcode. And once that extra 1 minute's up, if they go to ask for more time again, the only option there is to enter the screen time password. So that extra 1 minute is useful just if they're right in the middle of something and they want to finish it off. There you have it, a way to set up screen time limits for the iPad. If you found this video useful, do consider subscribing to my channel so you can get notified about any other videos I make. And leave a comment below telling me what you thought of this. I'm the ICT guy, and thanks very much for watching.